This week in our collective heads, wanna put an old rumor to bed. Stereotype that you've all heard, how we're all just angry video game nerds. Most of us have actual jobs, kids and families and cats and dogs, yeah. This week in our collective heads, this week in our collective heads.
So we're gonna talk about some video game news and some stuff that we think is important that you if you like games, you probably would think was important. We're also going to tell you the context of why these things are important, because the why is important as well.
Yes, and so I do want to start with calling out Kid J on YouTube. Last week's episode coming up on YouTube had zero audio, and we are two fairly good-looking dudes, but I don't think anybody's here for that.
Not for an hour.
So thanks. Yeah, definitely not for an hour. So thanks to Kid J for the audio catch, and if you see / hear any issues, let us know, because we want to make the show the best we can for you.
Tweet at us, Facebook Messenger. YouTube is fine as well. Yeah.
This Week in Our Collective Heads starts every week when it's available with the backwards compatible news, because this is something that Microsoft has been doing for a while, and this week may be my favorite or most exciting week as far as backwards compatibility. Spec Ops The Line has been brought up to backwards compatibility. This game and Kingdoms of Amalur are my two that are just must have. Oh God, how did anyone miss these? Because Spec Ops The Line is an absolutely incredible military shooter that is so much more than that. Military shooters, not my thing. Patrick, you play the campaigns for the Call of Duty games and stuff. Okay, cool. But Spec Ops The Line is a single player military shooter that has one of, I would say, top 3 best stories that I have seen in any game ever. It is absolutely amazing. Playing it all the way through to the end, it's got some Deadpool fourth wall breaking moments that are just bizarre, but they make sense in the context of the game. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about this because I'm convinced I could do an entire episode just talking about how good Spec Ops The Line is. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do a review of Spec Ops The Line and tell you why you should watch it. So look out for that on YouTube.
Yeah, we also got
next up.
Go ahead.
Next up is The Darkness 2, and have you played that one?
I have not played The Darkness 2. I have not played The Darkness either.
Well, let me tell you about The Darkness. The Darkness 2 is actually... The Darkness 1, obviously, was where you were fighting against the darkness, and you fought it with a flashlight, and you tried to move fast enough to eliminate all the darkness, and then you failed and died.
Okay, well,
The Darkness 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do what?
I was going to say, I didn't know
You didn't
the
play
game.
it, but you know it's not that.
I know it's not that because the Darkness is a comic book character.
Oh, okay. Well, let's assume that The Darkness 2 was about the comic book character, and tell me what The Darkness 2 is about.
Oh, okay. I apologize because this is a Troll to Troll 2 situation. In that case, yeah. So Troll being a movie about trolls, Troll 2 being something else. So Darkness 2.
But which one includes the line, "They ate her, then they're gonna eat me"? Oh my God.
Darkness 5.
Okay.
The Reckoning.
So there you go.
Speaking of that, real quick, I'm going to start. I've been talking about this a long time, but I'm going to start doing movie reviews again. I'm subjecting myself to something. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to be watching all of the witchcraft movies. If you're not familiar with that series, it is a horror film series that no one wants to watch, and there are I think 17 of them.
Holy. Okay.
There are 17
All right,
of
well
these.
then you do that.
Yeah, I'm going to watch every single one of them because there is no reason for these things to exist, and I want to. So they started in 1989 and went to 2008, and none of us have heard of them. There are 13. I thought there were 17. I'm gonna have to look. I think there's spinoffs.
There's way too many. That's
way too many. Way too many.
All right.
There are more of those than Star Wars movies.
Yeah, and we have that coming up, and then I've talked to Cass, and she has, I think, 3 reviews lined up, and so now that we've figured out some of the audio and video stuff, I should be able to record those within the next week or two, and hopefully we'll be able to have those up for you in the very near future, because I know we announced that at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And we have not yet been able to do that, but she has a couple lined up, and then I'm going to be reviewing Altered Carbon, and I think that you had some thoughts on that too, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have those ready for you by next weekend.
Yeah.
And then the third of the games that was backwards compatible is the Misadventures of PB Winterbottom. And so I know that the PB is an abbreviation for peanut butter, but that's about all I know about the game. Could you tell me about the Misadventures of Peanut Butter Winterbottom?
So this is actually this is about the secret origin of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and PB Winterbottom, and how he got lost in the city. See, he's a very eccentric man, kind of like Monk or what's that guy's name from The Aviator? The guy, So Howard Hughes. He's a really eccentric guy, peanut butter mogul, right? So he is the Carnegie of peanut butter. Gets sidetracked, and his assistant loses track of him, and he wanders around the city, and he stumbles upon a chocolatier, a chocolate factory, but to him, it is a this weird, crazy creation. He doesn't understand how chocolate works. So the game is kind of going through the way that he views the world, and the way that he views how chocolate is made and factories through his strange eyes. And at the end, he decides to merge, to have a contract, if you will, an agreement with that chocolatier to put his peanut butter into their chocolate, and thus is the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. This game doesn't exist, but I would play that.
That seems just as likely as anything else. So for those of you who haven't watched the show before, if we don't know what the backwards compatible games are, we make them up. And someday, going back to the lottery money from Totes, someday I would love to have those animated Musk, because he is the animator I would trust with our loopy crazy ideas.
And they have
but we do actually have some real news this week.
Yes, well, we got one more backwards compatible game.
We have the Stick of Truth, which was available as part of a pre-order for Fractured Butthole before that came out. But February 13th, that's going to be released as an official, yay, now you can actually play it.
Which I knew was going to
buy it on Xbox and PS4. And I believe it's only like $15 or $20, which is a good deal, because you played Stick of Truth and you really liked it, I think.
I loved it. I mean, it's very retro when it comes to the gaming, when it comes to the gameplay, but the humor, it's very South Park. It is. I mean, it's written and directed by the guys who did South Park, or written, I should say, not directed. The game is made by another company, but everything was produced and oversaw by Matt Stone and Trey Parker. So, I mean, it's like living in South Park, their version of South Park, not the real South Park. I absolutely love the Stick of Truth. Fractured Butthole, I think, has some interesting stuff when it comes to gameplay. There's some interesting enhancements that they've done in that. I personally don't think it's as funny, but maybe it's just the setting. They're still really funny, though. I would play both of them if I were you. On to
we've got that, and then we've got the PlayStation Plus games, yay!
Yeah.
And, okay, this month we talked about the Xbox games last week, and PlayStation absolutely wins February, because I'm genuinely excited about some of these games.
PlayStation
we
wins
have
on
Knack,
one. Yep.
Which is probably less of a win. I don't think either one of us have played it, but it was a launch title. I plan to let the girls play it. Oh, you did?
It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It was not worth a full price game, but I really enjoyed it. It's a really cool. To me, this Knack was almost like a tech demo, showing what a PlayStation 4 can do. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun game. Your girls are going to enjoy it as well. I'm really surprised that Rhyme got on this list, because first of all, I was about to buy it, and second of all, this game didn't come out very long ago.
A fairly new game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
'Cause,
This is the best version of it.
Knack was a launch title, but Rhyme. Knack was a launch title, but Rhyme is like within the last 6 months, I feel like, and it kind of got brushed under the rug. But like, look, at the very least, it looks interesting, and that's one of the main things I look for in these games. And then on PS3 we have Spelunker HD, not Spelunky, but I don't know if you're seeing video, it definitely looks like somebody like hacked Spelunky and tried to make another game, because like it's a lot of the same mechanics. I will let you know if there's anything to go there, because I played Spelunky for a while. I got to hell. I didn't beat it, and I know that makes me a fake Spelunky player. But like I explored and I unlocked a lot of the content. But yeah, Spelunker HD just looks like somebody was like, hey, what about this other thing? And so I will let you know if that's something that you should play, or you should just go ahead and buy Spelunky. The other one on PS3 is Mugen Soul Z, which
I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I have no idea on this one, but this will all be part of the roundup that we will do. We're trying to do it closer to the beginning of the month, because of the fact that Xbox staggers out their releases. We can't always do it like exactly when we want to, but we will try to have these reviews out for you as quickly as possible so that you can check out whatever it is that you're looking for.
But this game definitely has animes in it. I see animes in it.
Yes, it has the animes.
Exile's End, yes. I can't wait for this.
Actually, pretty cool.
Yeah. It looks really cool.
Yeah. That's a Vita title, and I think that one's cross-buy, right?
I believe it's cross-buy. I hope it's cross-buy, because I don't have a Vita anymore, and this is one of those games that makes me want to play a Vita. I will say, playing my Nintendo Switch, I'm playing because of its convenience. I mean, it's made me play more handheld than I usually play, and in this case, this is something I would play on handheld. It definitely looks like it would lend itself to this. Also, we got Grand Kingdom, which I don't know a lot about.
I'm genuinely excited about. I've heard that Grand Kingdom was good from for those of you who followed IGN back in the day. Jared Petty and Colin Moriarty both said that they enjoyed Grand Kingdom. So this was one that was actually on my on my PlayStation Store wish list thing. I'm genuinely excited about this one, and this one is coming to PS4. I know this one's coming to PS4 as well as to Vita, and I cannot wait, because this looks like the turn-based JRPG goodness that I love. This is absolutely my jam. So I will let you know. I have really high hopes for this one, and then, you know, like you said, Knack is great for a free game, and it's good for kids. Rhyme looks interesting.
Knack would have been good for a $20 game, but it wasn't a $20 game. I got it for like 15 or 20 used. I'm okay with that. But I don't think it was worth that. Real quick, Karen in the comments was talking about Acon. So if you're in the Dallas Metroplex area, Acon this year is going to have a gaming arena. So they're going to have gaming tournaments at Acon, which I haven't seen them do that before. I haven't seen them do that at a lot of conventions, except for maybe a small room that's relegated to some like third or fourth floor on the hotel that no one goes to, and it's usually a bunch of indie games that I'm interested in, but a lot of people aren't, so the traffic's really low. So if you're a fan of gaming, you may want to check that out, of esports, because they're going to be doing gaming tournaments at Acon. I think that makes perfect sense for a lot of these. I don't know why they don't do that at more conventions, because I think part of it may be because it doesn't make enough money. But every now and then I see like pinball, but I don't see that big of a push for gaming tournaments. I think after hours it should be like after 10 it should be like freaking gaming the whole time. Actually, most cons end at like 7. So after that, gaming, have a concert, make it a party. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Yeah. On to some more news though. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Speaking of parties.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2. We have a release date. It's coming out October 26th. Officially announced by Rockstar. We had a couple of leaks for September.
Yeah.
We didn't report on those because we weren't sure, and so it appears that it is coming October 26th. That's an official announcement. So that's what, a year-ish after it said it was coming out. Yeah, but that's fine because tell me when it's done, and that's the thing. I'm curious what they're going to do with online, because we don't have any information on that. We have a couple of new screenshots, and I huge respect for Rockstar North and their ability to say, hey, here's a little bit of information. The game's going to be good, and they're not spoiling things, and I appreciate that. There's, we've seen a couple of moments. There's like, oh, there's a train, and here's a bad guy, and here's some people that I kind of want to shoot in the face, like, But I knew that was good. Yeah. And like, you don't need to sell me on the story. You are Rockstar.
I know the story's going to be good. I know it's going to be an adventure. I know Rockstar games are the few that I can talk about to I was about to say adults. They're the few that I can talk to about, like, I can talk to people like my dad or others when they see trailers for something like Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto, and they may not be gamers, but immediately they're like, it looks like you can do, like there's this train heist and there's this going on, and it's so exciting. And I've played stuff like that, and to show, like I said, like my dad, who's not a gamer, or other people who aren't gamers, they can still get in on this because the story and the content is so good. And if you're playing the quests, there's not a lot of downtime. I would say that Monster Hunter, which I'm loving, Monster Hunter, if you're not a gamer, may or may not be something that a non-gamer would want to watch. A person who plays games every now and then can appreciate it, but like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, and I'd even say Bully, are ones that you can play quests. You can play a quest while someone's hanging out watching with you, and they're not going to complain that they're not playing. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to enjoy that ride, and I'm completely ready to enjoy that ride and be able to ride a horse again. In the Wild West. Speaking of things that have nothing to do with horses, there's recent news coming out about a previous Atari record for Dragster, which we now know. Was 30 years ago was when the record was put in.
Yeah,
so we
because
now know that
originally they would take pictures of their the end screen and then send those in as proof of whatever it was that they had done.
Yep.
And this was, Dragster was a game where, you had to do like pixel perfect shifts.
Yep. And
so they've been working on this. I'd heard about this for a while as a thing that they were like, hey, look, we've emulated the game, and we have a computer doing it, and the computer can't reach the speed that you claim to have reached.
Yeah. And
so that went down, and then there's also a Kong. Like, for those of you who watched the doc King of Kong, or Kings of Kong, I forget which one it was. One of the particular records was removed there because it was revealed that he actually played it on a MEME, which I was going to say an MAME emulator, but that would have been redundant.
Yeah.
MAME is actually an arcade emulation system. Yep. And so he wasn't playing on the physical hardware. And so with that, there are some things that would be easier, because like I could play with a controller longer than I could actually play with the joystick and things. And like, because the thing with the records on Kong or Donkey Kong is like physical fatigue becomes a factor just based on how far you go. And the funny thing about that is the same person that had their record removed on Dragster was actually the official witness that verified that record was accurate. So to have both of those come out in 1 week is pretty bad.
It's really bad.
But yeah, but it's interesting because there weren't multiple types of records. It was just, what is the highest score, what is the lowest speed, how fast can you do things like this. And now there's a lot more that it's like the zero glitch or the 100% or any percent, or there's like all these different categories, because there is a different skill set that is required to do stuff like this. And Super Mario World has some really interesting things that people can do. And this week somebody managed to trigger the end by manipulation in the game with a couple of pixel perfect jumps. And like you leave certain items in certain places, and you have to have a fireball going, and you have to set it up so that it accidentally duplicates a Yoshi block in a place where a Yoshi block isn't supposed to be, and then you have the egg fragments. It's bizarre. I sent a link out to it on Twitter. I'll try to put up another one after this goes live so that you can see that.
It's pretty amazing to me in a world right now. I mean, we're in a world where patches come out for games day one. They can fix issues, and if we have these historical games like Super Mario Brothers or others, or Donkey Kong, and people can dive in and exploit these things. Like you said, it's a different skill set and everything. You want to talk about that in the main quest, right? That's our main quest.
I had originally planned to. I kind of feel like we covered it.
We kind of did. So let's move on.
There we go. So last week we talked about the PlayStation sneakers that are all fancy and everything. Xbox has decided to bring it up and make it even more blingy, even more ostentatious. And I'll be honest, I kind of like it. They're having a Madden competition. If you win, this Madden 18 competition that also involves their mixer thing, which is like their new streaming thing. I still don't know what it is because I don't have an Xbox. You are my Xbox guy.
I have an Xbox. I still can't figure it out.
But mixer is still just bloody confusing. I'll be honest. But anyway, they're trying to promote this new system, and so if you're playing Madden on Xbox with the mixer thing, you can win these like it's right up there with the Super Bowl ring. The Super Bowl gold, like diamonds, rings.
Well, it's a $10,000 ring. That Xbox ring is a $10,000 ring.
Yeah, and I would absolutely love to win that and sell it immediately.
I know you would.
Because
I have my Xbox.
I don't need that. I have a ring. It's pretty.
Same here, but I have an Xbox. I like my Xbox. I'm a huge gamer. But I'm sorry, I'm not a fanboy. That's something that I would either sell, or I may put in. I may see if honestly, I may contact Randy and see if he wants to put it in the video game museum. I mean, it's something that to me, it's like 30 years from now. That's something that people will talk about, kind of like the. What was that Atari game? That Quest Atari game where you what was it like? I can't remember. The Adventure Quest, was that the one? No, it was the Atari.
It's just Adventure.
Oh, the one where you could get the sword and the crown. If you got like 30 years from now, this ring may be something that people talk about like that. They're like, "Where's the ring that rings that someone won?"
We have Lord Scalawag on Twitch chat. He says that's going to be an awesome Pawn Stars episode. I'll give you $10 for it.
I'll give you $10. Oh, like
so, yeah. And speaking of and the rings and the contests and stuff, Ready Player One, we're like a month or two out from that, and I'm really excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun, and that contest or spoofed in that game or in that movie.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I'm looking forward to seeing
that. It's all about the 80s. Yes. I'm so happy that I love the book, but I'm so happy that watching the trailers, because I've read the book, so I'm like, I don't really have to be spoiled. I'm not going to be spoiled on this, but I'm so happy that they've included more recent gaming icons into the movie. Yeah. Like, I don't care how brief it is; it doesn't matter. The fact that I'm pretty sure Tracer showed up in there, and I'm like, this is great. Like I don't even need her to be a big part.
I just haven't been watching.
You've read the book, you know. I mean, you know what the premise is and everything. It's not. It doesn't spoil anything.
I listened to Will Wheaton read the book to me. It was nice of him. So as far as games that are coming out, we have a new Battlefield game that is coming this year. I'm curious what you think this is going to be. Like, are they going to stay in World War I? Are they going to move to World War II with Call of Duty? Because like one of the things last year is like, oh, I can't believe you're going back to the old world wars and not giving us new wars at the same time. It's like, okay, these have been in development for years. So the new Battlefield game, I'm curious what they're going to do with it.
Let me tell you what I think. Not that they're going to do with it, but what I would like to see that they do with it.
Do.
Persian Gulf.
Please do. Ooh.
No, it's been 27 years.
It's been 27 years, but we're still fighting there, so I don't know.
But how great is that? And then like to go through we're talking the George H.W. Bush war, and to talk about Saddam, and I would love to do that, to play through a campaign and go through that, because a lot of the technology is similar to modern technology that we have now. It's similar, but just not as fancy. But a lot of the quasi-modern guns were first used there. Correct me if I'm wrong, people who are in the military, because I know my military from gaming and gun aficionados that I know. But I will say I would love to see that, because the setting I think would be really good. The missions would be really cool, and I'd love to hear an NPC every now and then say something like towards the end, say something about like, "I'm so glad we're out of here. We're never coming back." And I'm so glad we beat Saddam, and all his people are going to be free now. Or like, well, we didn't really beat Saddam, but we didn't beat Saddam in that case. We just went into we helped Kuwait, and then we got out. That's really all we did. But I would like to see something like that. You could also bring in some events that happened when the United States aided Osama bin Laden to fight the Russians. When we aided him to get the Russians out of Afghanistan. There's like some really good stuff that's quasi-recent history that no one's talking about. People talk about Vietnam. I think Vietnam could be good, but the problem is going to be navigating through woods. Playing games like Arma and some others, it gets really hard, and because someone can just be right behind that tree and then they pop out and you're done. So I'd like to see that. Sword Quest. Sorry, Karen commented it. Sword Quest was the game we were talking about before.
Okay. And then in that same announcement, they said that we talked about the Anthem delay from we talked about that last week. I said it was 5 out of 5 as a possibility.
Yep.
Let me verify, because yes, I called it, and that one is absolutely news. And they said, my favorite part about it though is during the financial report they said that this is not a delay, we're just moving the release date. And I thought that was one of the greatest attempted perversions of, no, this isn't this thing that it absolutely is. It's something else entirely. And I found that pretty entertaining.
That's so corporate speak. That is so corporate speak for, I mean, I see through it because I'm around it all the time. But you don't
have to be around it.
You changed the release date. That is a delay. Now, why the delay happened is a different story. We don't, and they said the delay is not because of the game is behind on production. They said it's because we want to concentrate on the story. Immediately, I thought of concentrate on the story of why you're delaying the game, because I don't care why you're delaying it. You're delaying it. I should say, I want to know why it's being delayed, just to understand context. I don't need you to tell me it's not a delay when you're delaying the game. Don't tell me you're delaying the game, that it's not a delay. Yeah. It's just moving the release date back, but it's not. No, that's the same thing. So
yeah. We have Switch news, and then we have a bunch of Nintendo news that came out with no details whatsoever. Yeah. But the first thing that we have is Hollow Knight on Switch. This is a game that's been on Steam for a while. Absolutely on my radar. I'm going to play it on Switch whenever I get a chance. But this is Hollow Knight is coming to Switch, and it's going to include God's Glory, which is the third piece of DLC. They're kind of releasing it like they did with like Yacht Club did with Shovel Knight, is like they got it kickstarted and they were like, okay, and then after it comes out, we're gonna have these 3 pieces of DLC. And so this is coming to Switch, and it's gonna have everything in it. And I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna beat it, and it's gonna be wonderful. And I cannot wait, because Hollow Knight, I mean, if you're watching footage, this is my jam. This is my kind of game, and it looks like a mix of Salt and Sanctuary and Shovel Knight. And I would absolutely love to raise that baby and put it through its tasks, and or falls apart really quick. So I'm gonna move on from that. But we did have some more Nintendo news, and the Switch has outsold the Wii U in 9 months.
Yep.
5 years the Wii, because it's better in every way. And yeah, there's no reason why it shouldn't.
Though the Wii U was to me was the midpoint between the Switch and the Wii. The Wii U was an upgraded Wii. It did a lot of the things that the Wii did, but for the most part, people couldn't justify buying a new console that did almost the same thing but also had an additional gamepad. It also of course had the confusing marketing. So well, I'll just say what I think is great about the Switch is they looked at the Wii U and said, we did everything wrong, let's do everything right this time. Let's give them a console that everyone is going to enjoy, which by the way, I've got 1-2 Switch footage playing right here, because you know what, that game's hilarious and fun to play with a group. I don't care, people talk about it being overpriced, I agree, but it's fun. And that's what the Switch does, what the Wii did. It's a fun console that anyone and everyone can get into, because the control schemes are easy enough, they're intuitive. It's also, if you like handhelds, if you like console gaming, whatever you like, unless you're a PC gamer, Master Race kind of guy or girl, I think the Switch appeals to everyone. If you like handheld gaming, it does it for you. If you don't want to play handheld, that's fine. You just keep it docked. Yeah. The Switch is doing everything that it is the modern console, in my opinion. It is the modern console for the modern person, because PS4 and Xbox are amazing. They do amazing things, but if you are just concerned about gaming and you don't care about graphics, you just want to play a game, you want to get in there, you want to do it whenever you want to do it, the Switch is amazing. And third-party developers are realizing that as well. Third-party developers are flocking to it because of that.
And speaking of third-party development, all the way down to the base user, we have a little bit of news about the Labo. Did we ever figure out how that gets pronounced?
Labo.
Yeah, the Labo. The Labo allows you to right. Yep, caught that. Yep. The Labo is and plus laboratory.
Yes.
So speaking of laboratories, the Labo will allow you to program your own custom robotics. Yes. And so it allows you to put in if-then statements. And this is beautiful, because this we're going to play it, but in the end, I think that the Labo is mostly for kids.
Yeah, but if you look back right here, it kind of starts to show that. If you're watching the video here, it starts to show it right about here. You can see that they actually start tweaking. Oh, where is it? I thought it was right there. There it is. They start tweaking different setups and see what they do. In this case, it failed. I think I had no idea that was going to be a part of it. I was going to get it anyways because it looks like fun. It looks like something that'll be interesting. Definitely for the show, I'm going to record the heck out of building it and everything. This is definitely something kids are going to love. Some adults may be like, "Oh, I can't believe they're selling this cardboard." It's so inventive though. And it's going to be
programmable cardboard. That's the important thing.
And once I knew that, I'm like, I can't see why this now appeals to kids. It now appeals to, I would say, gamers who want a really fun, unique experience, but also now geeks. What can I do with this? If it's programmable, what's the extent of it? Little Big Planet, they made clocks in the game. They made calculators in the game. I mean, what can we do with this thing?
once you open that to just see and just kind of throw it out there and be like, what can you make? Or like the systems that they made in Mario Maker. Like if you give people creative minds
Yeah.
enough space, they're going to come up with some amazing things. And I personally cannot wait. I'm on programming myself, and so any programming energy that I have is going toward getting a job.
Sure.
So I'm working on that. But this is something, like I said, this is for mostly a younger audience, and I can see this really helping people to find and discover and learn. Like if that's something that drives a kid, if that's something that inspires a kid, they're going to find the ways to make this happen.
Yeah. And
I cannot wait to see. I mean, I think that Labo with the ability to program and the versatility that this has, that I think that in 10, 15 years we could see the next Elon Musk being like, I played with that when I was a kid.
This is how I started.
This is, and even people that we never hear of.
Yeah.
That move into this. So anyway,
Minecraft did it. Nintendo's
really
doing it now. It's wonderful. Speaking of things that are wonderful, Mario Kart.
And Minecraft did first.
Minecraft did.
Mario Kart going mobile.
That's true. Mario Kart is going mobile. Minecraft went mobile, and I didn't like it. Mario Kart is going mobile, and we'll see if I like it. If I like this, again, people keep talking about how, it's the same thing that people are complaining about Bethesda, saying, why are you giving me the same game over and over again? Because it's good, and we want everyone to play it, is the answer. Mario Kart is the same. I feel is the same answer that people talk about Skyrim. Why is Skyrim on the Switch now? Because Skyrim is great, and now people can play Skyrim that may have not played it, or you can play it while you're on the bus or on the toilet or whatever you want to do. And in this case, you can do that with Mario Kart, but not have to bring your Switch with you. I don't know how the controls are going to be with this. I'm curious if it's going to use the gyroscopic haptic feedback kind of stuff to control, which I didn't use in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I know that I used it for about 10 minutes, like two tracks in the original Wii Mario Kart. Not original, the Wii Mario Kart. I played that for like 2 tracks, and I'm like, yep, done with it. I already do this. I don't want to overcompensate my turns. So I don't know how this is going to be on mobile. I hope that it's going to be good, but I think it's refreshing to see Nintendo get out there and say, we have a handheld console, but we'll also be on mobile, because I think they realize that those are two that you have sometimes it's 2 different demographics, sometimes it's the same demographic, but either way they're going to give you money. So I think Nintendo's being smart now, which is crazy. I can't believe I'm saying things like that.
Yeah, but they did delay Nintendo Switch Online until September, which, ouch. That's a full year and a half after it started, and they didn't give us any details. They just said Nintendo Switch Online is coming in September. Okay, so here's my prediction, and I'm going to go ahead and put this into predictions. Okay. One of the things that they've done with Switch is they've worked on giving us a high-end game, like, because indies are flocking to this system. Yeah. It's wonderful and it's fantastic, but they've been giving us something big, either a remaster or a brand new game every month, and I really appreciate that. So my prediction is September they're going to give us Smash Brothers Deluxe, and we're going to get to play that then. Because that is an excellent way to just snap in. That is the biggest game that they have that fully incorporates an online system, and because when they actually launch it, because you can already play Splatoon 2 and ARMS and whatever, you can play those online for free, but that's when they're going to start charging you. So in order to get people to throw that money down, they're going to need to have something at launch that's like, this is the reason.
Yes, because
for a lot of people,
is not enough.
Smash is the way to do it.
Smash is enough. Smash is enough for a lot of people, because playing Smash in a tournament is really fun, and being able to play that in a good online community is going to be great. Now, they previously did say, if we hold them to this, they previously said that they're going to have, if you're part of the Nintendo Switch Online, Nintendo Online, whatever they call it, every month you're going to get a retro game for the month. to play, which I'm really hoping that the reason that they delayed this is my hope. The reason that they delayed this is because they want to have the eShop ready then. So that way you can have your subscription.
eShop.
Yeah.
eShop and the virtual console, because the eShop it functions ish.
Yeah.
But
what I meant was virtual console. We have the eShop, but I meant virtual console. So that way you can say you're like, here's the reason that I am hopeful that this is the reason for the delay, and it is a delay, and that's fine. I'm hopeful that the reason for the delay is that they wanted to make sure that when their online community launches, that they give you the free game for the month, and they want to be able to tell you at the end of the month, or be able to prompt you and say, hey, this is the free game for the month. If you want it afterwards, here. And they give you maybe the next couple weeks or a month afterwards to say, hey, if you enjoyed whatever game, we got this on discount for you because you're one of the subscribers. I think that would make them so much money. It's insane, Nintendo, because you're giving us a game. Now, personally, I know we talked about you and I were talking about the value of games earlier on in the week as well. But just to briefly kind of talk about that, if you give out the game for free, it can devalue it later on. Because you've either highly discounted it or given it out for free, like in a PlayStation Plus or Xbox One scenario. And while that is something that's going on in modern gaming, I don't know if Nintendo wants to do that. I know that I would love for them to do that, but at the same time, if you give me an online functionality that works for Nintendo Online, if you give me a free game every month to play during that month, and that way I can try it. If I like the emulation, if I like the way it worked, and I can purchase it, great. Give me discounts every now and then, I'm fine with that. I would love for them to give out a free game every single month, but I feel like Nintendo, because it's so first party, they're going to run out of games, and it's not worth as much money to them as giving us a reasonable discount. So personally, I cannot wait for this, and I hope that that's what's going to happen, is that I get a free game for the month and I get a discount for it later on if I want to keep it in my library, because I love my Switch, I love Nintendo, and I am so glad they're back in the game like this. So happy about that. And another thing that I love is movies, and I'm really hopeful that the Mario movie is going to be good, because the other Mario movie, not so much. There's a new Mario movie that's
the other Mario movie ... You get it.
You get it. You know, I will say that this is one of, I have a couple early memories of going to the theater, and this is one of the early memories I have going to the theater, watching this movie, and I remember as a kid, loving the design of of what they did with the Koopas, and I just liked John Leguizamo anyways, and I remember walking out of the theater thinking like, oh, that was really fun, and I wasn't upset that it was so different. I was hopeful that there was going to be a sequel, because it sequel baits you at the end. And I'm really glad I grew out of that very quickly. The news here is
critical thinking.
Yeah, right. The news here though is the Illumination, the same company that brought you Minions, which I know all of you people love, is going to do a Mario movie, and Despicable Me. Minions was the one that just. That was the one that as Yorda from Spaceballs would say, merchandising. I know, like that's where that came. It did, but I've always thought that they were okay, but they're way too much into merchandising. But maybe that's why Nintendo paired up with them, because Nintendo is a toy company and a cardboard company, a card company. That's what they are. They make games, but that's what they've done historically. So maybe that's why they teamed up with them. I know they didn't team up. They didn't team up with Disney because Disney doesn't need to. Personally, I'm hopeful because I would love to see a good Mario cartoon movie. I would love to see a good 3D, like the Mario Galaxy, Mario Odyssey 3D Mario. I would love to see that. I would love to see a fun story because kids still love Mario, and I think that if kids are exposed to it, then they'll go and be able to play stuff like this, be able to play. And I think Mario Odyssey is a great example of that, where we have another generation that this is their first Mario game, and they can then go back and play other Mario games. And I think that the Mario movie, I'm hopeful, will bring in more merchandising and video gamers and everything, because it's a fun IP, and it's one that I think could do really well. Zelda has been something that's been in development hell forever, and I don't foresee it being good, because having Zelda voiced, I feel like is going to be weird. But Mario's perfect.
We've seen it, and it is.
It is. But Mario is perfect, and I would love for them to do this well. And I'm a huge Zelda fan. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Zelda fan. I just don't think it'll translate very well.
Okay. Things that will do well, though. Far Cry 5 Season Pass.
On the
I'm
opposite
about
end
to
of the
crap
spectrum.
out of this. I am so excited about this. Okay, first off, if you buy the Season Pass, which I'm going to do, and you've heard us talk about don't buy Season Passes until you know what's in it, and don't buy it if you don't know. Okay. This Season Pass comes with Far Cry 3, and if you buy the Far Cry 5 Season Pass, then you get to play Far Cry 3, which is the one with Voss, and Voss is an amazing villain. You get to play that a month early, and then they have 3 different modes. There's Mars, there's a zombie mode, and then what was the third one? Anyway, just a bunch of bizarre and interesting things that you get to play. And Vietnam, that's the third one.
Yes.
But yeah, it looks absolutely wonderful, and I'm gonna get it because what Ubisoft does with their smaller projects, they did this with Blood Dragon, they did it with Valiant Hearts, they did it with they just take some ideas and they put it in, and like we talk about, you don't have to give me 30 hours of content to make me excited about something. Give me a quality short experience, and I will be excited. These are 3 quality short experiences that have nothing to do with Far Cry 5's story or whatever.
And Blood Dragon proved that. Blood Dragon was, 8 hours long?
Dragon was amazing.
I loved it,
and
I'm hoping that
so much fun with it.
I'm hoping that the Vietnam part. I mean, I know that I think Tropic Thunder lampooned Vietnam movies so well that I'm hoping this does something similar, where you have those archetypal Vietnam soldiers all in there. I don't even care if they rip it straight out of Tropic Thunder. Even having the token black guy talk about mixing up some collard greens and all that, because that was the funniest movie. And watching. What do you mean?
What do you mean? That's such a.
It was so well done, and not to get on a tangent about it, but the care that was taken in that movie to not only lampoon something that is so is so horrible part of our history, but. But to handle those situations and race in such a manner was so good, and I will watch that movie again. I love it.
So the other thing is that the title of the Vietnam section is Hours of Darkness. Okay. And Heart of Darkness is what goes to it goes to the road. It goes to which one is it? Is it Armageddon Now? I think. And again, to loop it all the way back up to the top, Spec Ops The Line. It's Heart of Darkness is about the horrors of war, and so I'm fine if that one's serious.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out what you're talking about.
But then we're going to go to.
What do you mean, like?
Armageddon Now is about the book Heart of Darkness. It's like a version of that, right? I think so. Anyway, but if
You're
that
about
one's serious,
apocalypse now.
then you have Dead Living Zombies and Lost on Mars, where we go there to fight Martian arachnids. So Tandem Cannon, sorry, fighters again. They're coming for you. And as I have said and offered several times, I'll play through that part if you just want to watch between your fingers. So there you go. And then couple more little bits of news that we've got coming through. We have It Lurks Below from the Diablo creator is in closed beta right now. We really don't know anything about the game, but it's entering closed beta, so it's coming out soon. It's like some kind of 2D loot based system that I honestly don't know, but this is a game that I hadn't heard about, and if it's going into closed beta, I feel like it's going to come out fairly soon.
I hope so, but then again, if you're like PlayerUnknown, you can be in closed beta and open beta for the next 7 years.
There's that.
Yeah, but I do love. I mean, it looks. It's taken the Minecraft, loot and building stuff. And what's that game that's
Terraria.
exactly like it? Terraria. Yeah, it's Terraria with better combat and spookiness. And the building in that, like the
spookiness.
What's that?
Who doesn't love spookiness?
I love spookiness. I'm excited about that. It looks fun. It also looks like something I would love to play on my Switch, Nintendo. So get that on the Switch. That looks perfect for that. The looting and crafting and the endless cycle of building stuff is really fun, and it's addicting, and I want to do that.
Yes. So, and then the last bit of news we have is Bungie has kind of issued out a new version of the Destiny 2 roadmap, because they had a bunch of issues with like the Ingrams, and you would end up crafting, it's a super epic Ingram that I already have. Yeah. And so they've been talking to the community and trying to figure out where to go from here. And so some of this stuff has been delayed. We have a link in the description if that's something that you're really looking for, because honestly, you played Destiny 2 for a while, but then you kind of fell off of it, and I feel like a lot of people did, and it's just trying to figure out how to make that work again.
Yeah.
So again, like we were talking about with the games that, getting the patches and everything and trying to fix a game post launch. Destiny 2 launched and it was a bit shallow, and the community called them out on it. So
I agree, and I think that what they need to reinvigorate their online community. I think this is a nice gesture. I think that what I would do, which everyone who bought the season pass would hate, I would love for them to give out like the first DLC bit for like a week or two, like as soon as it launches. The immediate time that it launches, it's free for everyone who has Destiny 2 for the first 2 weeks or something, because then everyone who has a copy will go check out and see how the DLC works. Make sure that it's open, that it's not capped to a specific level. Make sure anyone can jump in there and go enjoy it, because if you continue to, like we keep saying, if you keep giving us good content, we'll keep coming back. I was burned by Destiny 2, where I felt like, to me, it wasn't worth the $60 price tag for the game. I played it and I thought, okay, well, this is just like the expansions that I played for Destiny. It should have been a $40 expansion, a sizable expansion to say, hey, huge graphic overhaul, revamp the story, and this is how it'll work. I would be completely fine with that. But because they didn't do that, I felt burned out, because the game didn't have enough. It didn't have enough content to me. The story was okay, but the levels were way too linear. As soon as you get past the EDC, it's like all just completely EDZ. Sorry. As soon as you get past that, it's like, this is just linear, and I'm bored, and it's repetitive and not intuitive in regards to like where you're supposed to go. So having something that's linear and it's not intuitive as to where my path is, that's confusing. That's really confusing. So,
but they're trying to fix it, maybe.
Hopefully they fix it.
See.
We'll see what happens. Anyways, that's all for the gaming news this week. Let us know if you enjoyed the show. Let us know in the comments if there's some news that we missed out, and if you think that you're better than Billy Mitchell at Donkey Kong, because you know what, he may have cheated, but he's still better than me.
And he's still got a bunch of records. So we are, as of last week and continuing this week and for the foreseeable future, we're also we're going live on Facebook and on Twitch. So we have a couple of users that follow us on Twitch, some that follow us on Facebook. So you can like, subscribe, share there. And then this content goes up later on YouTube and to various podcasting devices and platforms. So wherever it is that you enjoy us, reach out, let us know what you like, what you didn't like, and give us, if you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up if you like it, give us a thumbs down if you didn't, and let us know what we can do to improve, because we, as in life, are always looking to better ourselves.
We are.
We'll see you
Love
next time.
Bye.
Thanks for watching This Week in Our Collective Heads. Subscribe over here and click the bell, and that way you'll know about any new videos that we put up, because we put up a lot of gameplay, a lot of stories from games and stuff like that, and gameplay is down here.
Yeah, and you got more editorials and news stuff down here. Check it out.